Man, we gonna learn a lot from this Shannon Sharpe situation. I don't really like talking about people's personal lives and the things they do in their bedrooms, but I really felt like this situation was a great talking point and teaching point. The mistakes that Shannon Sharpe made are pretty obvious from a regular person's point of view. I'm regular. He rich, he famous. He reached levels in life that it's hard for the average person to reach. The type of money he made, the connections he made. He's a great man, highly honorable. But where Shannon Sharpe, the biggest mistake that Shannon Sharpe made is he let the idle time demon get him. And what I mean by that, you guys have heard the phrase, the idle time is the devil's playground. And the devil can come in many ways. I'm not talking about the devil like horns, all that crazy stuff. No, I'm talking about the demons that he has. We all have demons. Some of us have demons in gambling, alcohol, gluttony, lust, all that. I don't know his personal life. I don't care to know his personal life. I'm just talking about what's in front of me. His demon was lust and little white girls. That was his thing. He a grown ass man. He do what he want. You like who you want. I don't care. Purple, black, you do what you do. But that was his demon. That was his vice. He liked the domination. Oh man, he liked all that stuff. And it's crazy because the regular person, we don't have money like that to go on OnlyFans and fly out your favorite creator. You know what I'm saying? He's different. He can. So he could have been late at night gooning, and he like, damn, I like this girl here. And then he meets her, and then he got money to pay for her and all that stuff. And he fell for the okie doke of the abusive role playing. Think about it, man. And I say this with all respect, but in America, there's a stigma and there's double standards. An innocent white girl, big black man. Come on. She wants to role play abusive role playing with him in a sexual way. And I'm sure they had their consensual things and all that. You guys can look at the details. I'm not no lawyer. I don't care to be a lawyer. I'm just speaking what's in front of me. You feel me? So he made that mistake of buying into that role, not realizing that he not regular and not everybody is your friend. There's a song by this famous rapper, R.I.P. the Dead, named Mo3. He had a song called Everybody Not Your Friends, Everybody Not Your Partner. So he probably built some type of connection with this girl and thinking she had his best interest. And the whole time she hit him with a 360 no scope, lined him up and bow, got him. So even if he was innocent and it was all consensual, he fell for the trap. He ain't regular. He got a bag, you feel me? And you don't know who she knows. She could have probably she probably didn't even know who he was when they first met until she got around somebody and started talking about who he was. And they're like, yo, that's Shannon Sharpe. And y'all doing this? You doing this? You know what you need to do? X, Y, and Z. And he fell for this. He fell for it. It ain't funny when a rabbit got the gun. You know what I'm saying? That's why sometimes you have to be careful what you say about another man's downfall. Because you never know what can happen to you. That's why I don't laugh at people when they're down or when they're going through some stuff, because it can come back on you. Karma is real, whether some believe it or not, but what goes up must come down, up, inside, outside, left, right. Every action has an equal reaction, so learn from that too. That's something we all can learn from, control your vices. Now look at it like this. Shannon Sharpe is in his almost 50. He's in his 50s, almost 60. I'm not sure his exact age, but he's messing with somebody that's 20. Let's be real here. If money wasn't a play or a factor, this girl would not pay him no mind. I'm sure she likes somebody that's her age. I'm sure they'd have nothing to talk about, nothing relatable with other than, if it ain't got nothing to do with this right here, I'm pretty sure they don't even really have conversation or find things that they have mutual interest in other than that. You know what I'm saying? So when you get that old, man, he should have been doing granddad duties, man, at that point, or at least found him a woman that knows him and respects him, not just fake loves him. That love don't mean nothing. You want a woman that respects you, reveres you, that when you say do things, she's going to do it, because if she breaks it and blows it, it blows everything up. Not some girl that's 20, got an OnlyFans. So now at the end of the day, your life and your work, everything he worked so hard for is going down the drain like this in 1 week. And the only thing that's going to happen to her is she going to gain more clout. She was already doing OnlyFans. So before that, so now after that, her rank about to go crazy. You feel me? Because now she got all this media, all this traffic coming to her page. So she won at the end of the day. He lost, even if he is innocent. So I say all that. I say all this to say, fellas, be smart. Always, even if you're regular, when you send off a text message or you're talking on the phone, act like somebody's recording you. Even if you're not doing anything, you're regular schmegular like me, how we all are. We're not famous, but you got to act like somebody's out trying to get you. So you got to make sure you don't be talking crazy on the phone or wilding with females and being wild, man. Like, if you want to be wild, go to DR, man. Like, fly to these other countries, and go be a passport, bro. Man, Unc could have been chilling in Colombia, Brazil, DR, Puerto Rico, Cuba. He could have been over there having a good time, getting treated like a king, spending a little bit of money, opposed to coming over here to America, dealing with this stuff when people got awareness and, oh, I want this and I want that, and they know they can get it. He could have played it smart, but he played it. He was thinking with this head instead of thinking with this head. Think with this head, because this head gonna get you out of trouble. This head right here, this head thinks off emotion. This head right here thinks off logic. When you thinking with this head right here, you're gonna stay out of trouble. You're not gonna make no dumb decisions. You're gonna think about what you're doing. When you think with this head, you're thinking with impulse. You know what I'm saying? He could have did all that and it could have been over in 5 minutes. And now that 5 minutes, what happened? You busted a nut. Wow, you feel great for that little bit of time. Now what? Now you got to deal with all this. Your reputation getting blasted all over TV, stepping away from your job, all over you being overly freaked. That's why you got to be careful with the doom scrolling and whacking off all the time and being over sexualized, because when you get over sexualized, you start acting out deeper fantasies and you start going down different holes and different movements, and you end up like this. Your news getting blasted all over the news, and you got small creators like me talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So, fellas, be smart. Learn from the mistakes that he made, so you don't make those mistakes. But if you guys found any value in this video, do your boy a solid, like the video, comment your thoughts, let me know if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, if there's anything that I left out, all that good stuff. I take all comments. You can roast me if you want to. Don't matter to me. Comment, subscribe, just tap the bell icon so you stay notified whenever I drop a video. But with all that said, guys, we out of this thing. Bow. Stop being overly freaked, my boys. It ain't worth it.